Hey, this is Luke with the Android Guys app review podcast. I'm here with Scott.
Hey, Luke, how are you?
Pretty good, man. We got another app review today. You are talking about a game you've been playing.
Yeah, this is a game, well, it's getting close to Halloween, and it's the end of the Walking Dead series. So this one kind of landed on my radar. Looked interesting, and I was kind of excited to check it out.
Okay.
The Matching Dead.
The Matching Dead.
Now, this is not a Walking Dead license.
Okay.
It's just happens to have zombies in the game.
Okay.
It bills itself a little bit and kind of promotes itself image-wise as a match-3 kind of game.
Okay, so like Bejeweled, Candy Crush, that kind of idea.
So your premise, your thinking is, I'm just going to have a different, aesthetic.
Yeah.
Different kind of skin, something just different. That is in the game.
Okay.
But is not the main part of the game.
Okay.
There is a lot more going on to this game than just matching these three or four.
Is it like a survival game?
It kind of is. It has it's an RPG kind of game.
Interesting.
That has battles in it that are kind of turn based.
Is the battle matching? Is that where the matching comes in?
That's where the matching comes in.
Okay.
Yeah, at the bottom of your screen, you will kind of play the game of, matching up 3 or 4 of a color in a row or shapes
to do certain attacks or something like that, or run.
Sometimes you might get 3 in a row, or if you do 4, or if you make a V like the corner piece, it might create like a TNT or like a bomb. It's the same mechanics that you would normally see in that kind of game. And I would be okay with if that was just the layer of the story of just kind of going along and running into zombies, and this level requires me to make so many matches within a certain time.
Right.
That is not really the case.
Interesting.
I played this game probably 20 to 25 minutes before I could find a place to get out of the game to kind of just catch my breath and figure what is this game?
Really?
It's tutorial heavy.
Okay.
And there is a lot going on in the game besides match 3.
So it's like, here's how you do this. Oh, and this, and this, and this.
Yeah. And as it presents itself, you might have a couple of zombies on the screen that are lumbering and hanging out there, and you're like, I'm just going to match these things up. And whenever I would get, 3 of a shape or a color, then you would see it kind of attack and weaken them. But then after you're done, then you're like on a overview map. But it isn't like Candy Crush where you feel like there's a trail that you just kind of follow along, and every level gives you more interesting or more increasingly difficult challenges.
Yeah.
You will get into, and this may be a perfect game for somebody who understands this. They may love this kind of game. You are in charge of, as you go, building your own team of players to kind of take on these guys. So it's you're leveling up these, or you want to put together the right team of players, which isn't really clear as to why early on.
Do they affect the fighting or something?
Their fighting styles and what they can do.
Okay, so if you have this character active and you match the blue bubbles together,
more or less,
they do this thing.
Yep, more or less. Okay. And sometimes they may have like a super zombie kind of guy that you're like, oh, this guy's attack is better for him. But
I gotcha.
You're just kind of forced through this thing where you can't stop and just kind of say, okay, I kind of get it, let me go. I mean, it was about a good half hour before I was just like, I'm getting out of this.
Yeah.
Where can I get out of this? Because it kept handing you to another tutorial.
Have you gone back in since then?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Is it still more tutorial things, or is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But for me, it's not the kind of game that I thought I was getting.
Right.
And it's not the kind of game that I want to spend that kind of time with.
Sure.
There are other mechanics in the game where you might want to, or have to, there's like a schoolhouse. Like it's a rundown, beat up, post-apocalyptic. The graphics are cool and cartoony. but you have to kind of build up your fortress or your base.
Okay.
And you see this overview map, and there might be some guys wandering around that are like, if they come onto your territory, then you got to battle them.
Right.
But you have to go along and like collect people for your team. You have to train them up before you can kind of like take them out. So you're like leveling up these players.
Yeah.
To kind of go out, and I'm like, just give me the match 3.
Yeah, all you want to do is match things.
And that's not really the game.
Okay.
That's just part of.
Gotcha.
Now, I hate to kind of like crap on that, but that's what I was expecting out of this. It's kind of like seeing a movie trailer, and you're like, oh, I thought this was more of a comedy. They put all the jokes in it, and the rest of it's a serious,
right?
But it's, I don't know. It's not for me. Mm-hmm. There's just so many layers, and I don't know why I'm doing some of the things other than following along and tapping because it told me I need to pick one of these players, pick him up, put him on my team.
Yeah. Why?
And some games are good at that, explaining later on.
Sure.
But this, for me, just really wasn't my cup of tea. You also have, you have to build up vehicles and repair them and to look around on the map and tap on certain things, and it's kind of like, I don't know if it's wants to be a turn-based game. I don't know if it wants to be a like find things on a map kind of game.
Yeah, it seems like it has a lot of elements from other games, but just doesn't do any of them particularly great.
Yeah, and I feel like if it wanted to lean in one direction, it could do it really well.
Sure.
But as it is, I'm just not.
Maybe the person for this game is the person that likes zombies, but likes all of those types of games and kind of wants a little bit of everything.
Yeah. If you like a kind of game where you're like, I want to and put some strategy into finding the right team, and maybe revisit a level or a battle, and see if maybe this way I can knock these guys out quicker. But really, there's not a whole lot of the match 3 that you're like, oh, I'm just kind of looking for 3 to put in a row because I'm trying to get these guys to fight before they attack me.
Right.
But yeah, so
want to give it a score?
Yeah, let's give it some scores.
All right. So what do you think of the graphics?
Graphics, I really like. I think that it does a really good job of what it tries to do on the overall level and the individual kind of like match 3 level. So I'm going to give it a good, I'll say it's a 4.
Okay, cool. What about the audio?
It doesn't bother me. Nothing where it's like overly repetitive. I would say it's what I expected the game to have. I would say it's, let's give it a 3.5.
Okay, 3.5 on that one. How about the replay value?
Now this is tough because it's not replay value for me.
Sure.
But for the right person, I would say it's got a nice replay value. Let's give it a 3.5.
Okay. And then we would be looking at features. So does it have a lot of different things you can do with your time and
yeah. And that's the thing is this is going to score higher than my personal take.
Sure.
So I would say feature-wise, I don't feel like I'm like, oh, I need to dump some money into this because I can bypass my way to another level or whatever. I would say for what you get as a free game, I would say it's a 4.
Okay, cool. And then last and certainly not least is the ads and notifications.
I didn't really have a problem with them.
Yeah?
Nothing more than what I would expect a free game to have in terms of in-game and out, using my phone, getting random notifications of, nothing particular like you're under attack or whatever. But, yeah, just I would say it's pretty good. I would give it a 4.
4.
So
all right. So
we're looking at a high 3, right?
Yeah, we're looking at 3.8.
Yeah. So not too bad.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Sure.
I would say my own personal scores, I might bring it down, but I got to be as objective as I can.
Yeah, sure.
So 3.8.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks, Scott.
No problem.